right, let's go. So what? Our kids will never see a polar bear. And who cares if 200 years from now they'll be living underground and never see another sunrise or sunset or gaze upon a rainbow after a rainy day? That's okay, because we live in the here and now. And right here, right now, I want a Hummer. Yeah. Not because I'm a man with 7 kids, and not because I'm some type of military specialist. No, because, dude, it's a Hummer. And chicks dig Hummers. So while I'm driving down the block being all chick magnetic and people are showing me fingers that are not so beautifully aesthetic, I just smile. Getting my 40 cents a mile. All the while hot chick heads are turning and power-hungry envies are burning. And dude, I'm just going to Walmart. So what if by the year 2040 we are growing all of our food in vertical urban farms and there's not enough beds for the little Chinese babies to sleep on? And who cares if we are ionizing, sanitizing, and refilterizing industrial sewage waters to libate our sons and daughters because I'm trying to get mine to school and you and your little Prius are moving way too slow. You gas conservating, Bush hating, Hillary would have made a better president than Obama debating. I want to take my 440 pounds of torque and roll right over you because Lord knows I don't take this sweet cherry of a ride off roads. Are you kidding me? And get mud and minor rims? Dude, I just want to drive my Hummer. And no amount of you showing me how long your middle finger is going to feed any amount of starving little kids. But maybe the 10% of my money that I give to starving little kids just may feed some starving little kids. I don't know, dude. You tell me. Who cares about the war in Iraq that's got us all at the pumps frustrated and all the polar ice caps melting and everybody's always constantly debating? You know what? Let me tell you something. When the floods come and strike our great nation, I will take my Hummer and pull your Prius from the devastation. That's a little favor from me to you, dude. And one more thing. Why don't you just leave me alone? Go smoke your weed, hug a tree, and let me be me. Because truth be told, that tree wishes you were dead. And no matter what little Johnny Homegrown says, that marijuana that you're smoking on is still brought to you, in part, by your neighborhood Colombian drug cartel. And guess what, dude? They all drive Hummers.
I'm going to confess at first. I'm going to read 2 pieces. One for me and for you, and the other for other people to explain. This one, as you all can see, is I'm old, right? I'm old. No. So this piece is entitled Thoughts in My Solitude. And what do I think about in my solitude? Silly little girls who giggle all the time. Little ladies who blow my mind. A grown woman who still possesses her childlike innocence and qualities. The idea that a floor is not clean unless I've scrubbed it on my knees. A pretty little girl with skin so fair, 1,000,000 plaits and barrettes fighting for a place in her hair. Little girls on a porch or a stoop getting down to the beat. Winos, junkies, bangers, lost souls on our community streets. Children not as happy as they used to be. Grown-ups now and unknown to me. Mothers and fathers who decried their overcrowded homes, now moaning about empty houses and being all alone. Brothers and sisters, relatives and friends on the other side of the country, on my mind all the time. I wonder if and what they think of me. Ladies in blue dresses, now moms using thumb grease. Old men, gentlemen in pinstripe double-breasted suits. Young men wearing stingy brims and Stacey Adams shoes. Big old cars, clean, shined, and ready to cruise. Little girls in patent leather shoes. Little frilly dresses, freshly sprung tresses. Whirling, twirling, around and around and around. Bubble gum and big red balloons. And now they are doctors, lawyers, politicians, scientists, circling the moon. Little boys in vests and tight or loose shoes. Fat daddy or grandpa ties. Clear, bright, and sparkling eyes. Begging or fighting for shotgun. during the family ride. Little boys invest in crowded cars pulling up in front of the church on Sundays. Grown folks celebrating young folks and babies every day. Sunday is a family day, a day of rest, holiness. Happiness is a toddy and a prayer to relieve my stress. Happy meals cooked and served in the world's best and happiest eatery, at home with family and unexpected, late, great welcome and hungry company. Pride, joy, families, children, that was a way back then. Today, drive-bys, baggy jeans, prospects lean, attitudes mean, mouths obscene, too few having or using common sense, too many little men and women having children, their infant children living, dying, suffering, crying, while being raised in houses of sin, dope dens, or pig pens. Too many grandpas still accepting responsibility for raising immature, irresponsible, or trifling parents and their children. Young people being brought to their knees by social disease, living in defeat, living and dying in violent streets or in shooting galleries, dying of false hope, failure to cope, dope, or the despair that they are injecting or ingesting there. Too many young men and now young girls and women living, dying to get into those hog pens that we, society, call prison. The difference between my mortgage and their rent, I have more to pay, but cannot afford to my landlord and to the government. I just don't know where my money went, not even that which I allegedly spent. Young men and women, soldiers, being called upon once again to serve and to die overseas for, according to the news, an ungrateful nation and, as usual, undeserving countries. In the newspaper, an ever-growing obituary, once filled with strangers, now filled increasingly with the names of friends and family. I foresee a space reserved for me. I wonder, will I be just another name, or will I be, at least for one somebody, a pleasant memory?
Yes.
Yeah. And this last piece I'm going to read, give me a minute to find it, but today, in spite of everything else, is a special day. It's Armistice Day, of course. I think all of us know that. Memorial Day, rather, excuse me. Now, I always feel a sense of pain every time I come out this way, and I used to try to avoid it. I'm talking about the cemetery of Fort Sam, because unfortunately my baby brother is in one of them cemeteries under one of those crosses. And whenever I see him, I kind of think about him. I can't help it. And he was in the Marine Corps, and the name of his poem is PFC Alexander, Robert E. Memories. Can I hold the worms? I see a Mickey. Handsome, pearly teeth, reflective, moved quietly. In reality, he wouldn't hurt a flea until they sent him off to fight for his life and the country. Realities, like so many, he served honorably. He fought heroically. He was wounded by the enemy. They fixed his body, but then left it up to him to deal with and to perhaps heal his thoughts, his mind, his memories. Like so many Vietnam vets still hurting and suffering, he was deserted by his government, left to kill or to be killed, left to die mentally and then physically in a community within his own country. Neglected to death. PFC Alexander, Robert E.